Welcome ladies and gentlemen to the InGame Esports South Asia Cup Sri Lanka Finals, where we have LowKey Esports taking on Maximum Esports Revolutionary Gamers. So it's going to be a very intense game for sure, and joining me on the cast is going to be none other than Nunfinish. How are you?
Good evening, guys. Good evening to you, Azman, as well. So as he mentioned, like, we are having the final of the qualifier finals of this entire tournament, which is going to be, because we've already been here, I was here for the India finals qualifier as well, which was an intense game, very close up to the fact, and I think it was Global Esports who came up on top.
Yes.
And I think going into this, I think knowing that the Sri Lankan community is big, as well as these teams have come through a long way, just, you know, like grinding themselves into coming into this position of probably the winner representing Sri Lanka in the South Asia Cup. So that's definitely going to be a very big privilege for them.
Yeah, definitely. So right now the favorites going into this final is going to be LowKey Esports, obviously, because they have time and time again they have performed very well, not just in Sri Lanka, but overall when they face off against teams in South Asia as well, they've done really well for themselves. So that's what our expectations are, that they'll be moving in. But obviously not to take away anything from the side of Maximum Revolutionary Gamers, because they did manage to beat a very strongly seeded team here in Sri Lanka as well. I believe it was PNX Heroes.
Yes.
So that was a very intense game there, and it was actually a comeback, if I'm not
definitely
mistaken.
Yeah, because we weren't expecting, okay, coming into this tournament, rather like just LowKey, not just being the fan favorites of the Sri Lankan community, but also the fan favorites to win the entire thing, because they've been doing and representing in international tournaments all throughout the year. So I think that being said, Revolutionary Gamers just taking a series of PNX heroes, that was a huge upset in the entire community itself, because they were definitely the underdogs, and they are the underdogs coming into this series as well. But definitely, who knows, like if you're in that momentum, you could actually take the game, or rather if they do perform well, they could take the series of LowKey Esports. Who knows? We have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll find out eventually when the games do start off. But before we do mention that, obviously, there's something that's always beautiful about esports, and it's just the fact that it always comes down to how you perform on the day, whether you're, doesn't matter if your consistency is good or bad. Like, it comes down to whether you play well on the day, whether you do your basics properly, and you execute your plans properly. So, a lot of things can go wrong, but a lot of things can go right as well. But anyway, before we do get into the games, ladies and gentlemen, once again, just reminding all of you regarding the teams that did qualify from the rest of our qualifier. So from India, we had Global Esports, who made it through their qualifying rounds with a very hard-fought battle, like Nanfinish obviously mentioned. From Pakistan, we have Gaming Hub, and then from Bangladesh, we have Nomads Esports. From Nepal, we have My Revenge, and from Maldives, we have Team Beehive. So a lot of great teams that have come through, and they're going to be flying all the way to Sri Lanka to face off against each other here during the South Asia Cup leg of things here in March. So it's going to be very interesting, it's going to be intense. We know that these teams are very well versed in CSGO obviously, and they put in years and years of training, as well as just working together as a unit to get to where they are. Otherwise obviously it wouldn't be possible for them to win a qualifier.
It was really well shown throughout those series as well. Like I've been following the qualifiers throughout, and especially the Southeast Asian region, which is kind of like underlooked, like when it comes to the European scene, whereas the international scene, you could actually see like these people like spend years and time, they put in their effort, spend time honing their skills to come to this level, and now they'll be representing their own countries to finally come into and probably end of the day win the SCA Cup.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of work already put in, so obviously having that amazing opportunity. So with that, just talking a little bit, we do have word of the first few maps that we will be playing. So the first map for the Sri Lankan finals is going to be Dust 2. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is executed, because this is probably the map that everyone has played the most. I think even if you take you and me as players, I think that is the map that everyone goes to, whether it's a deathmatch, whether you're playing with your team, whether you're playing rank. That is usually the most comfortable one that you go through.
Plus, I think that's the most like the map that everyone plays just to get your just to get a feel of CS:GO. Like I think that was the first map that regardless of Valve, this CS:GO coming through, like from the early days, from 1.3, like even though that was the map that was widely played, like even in competitive levels. So that being said, like coming into CS:GO, knowing that they still play this, like they should be knowing this like the back of their hands right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think they probably see Dust 2 in their sleep as well.
Exactly.
They're like, okay, this is exactly where we need to go. This is what we need to do. This is where we need to smoke. I mean, that's usually what everyone checks as well, right? So when you're starting out to get better at the game of CS:GO, obviously you want to check smokes are always, we're expecting some really top-notch smokes, flashbangs, and tactics especially coming out from all of these players. We don't expect them, less like your normal pubs, to just rush me.
Yeah, you don't rush me. It's not a run and gun game anymore. Like this for these players, especially these two teams, it's a matter of who's representing their country. So they have a lot at stake coming into this series. So they are going to be giving probably 120% of their entire talent and skill. So I'm looking for a really intense and also hard-fought game from both teams.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like both teams are going to leave everything that they possibly can on the keyboards or on the gaming peripherals that they'll be using, because usually, so when it comes to sport, you usually say just leave everything on the field. So when we say leave everything on the field in terms of esports, it's usually on your equipment. So we might see some broken keyboards after, we might not. But either way, it's going to be an exciting day, definitely for a lot of you CS:GO fans. If you want to see some high-level gameplay coming out from both of these teams, so once again, just talking a little bit about LowKey Esports as well. Recently, I mean, the team obviously hasn't recently formed, but the organization came into Sri Lanka, and now they are taking their stand here, and now they've recruited their own CS:GO team, and they've been doing really well from the time that they've got together, obviously. So a lot for them to prove as well, just to move forward in that international scene.
Definitely, because like taking into account that the fact that LowKey Esports came into our country, that's a huge step in its own. So plus having the Sri Lankan CS:GO team, which was supposedly before it was
Zeg Esports.
Zeg Esports. So Zeg Esports being taken in under their wing by LowKey Esports. Now they are the ones sponsoring. They are the ones taking care of our players. So knowing that this organization is like being a stepping stone for these players to make a career out of themselves, of what they're really good at, that shows the growth of how Sri Lankan esports have come so far. So, and also taking into account, like, most of these players have been in the scene for at least probably 10-15 years.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking, like literally 10-15 years. They've spent their years of gaming just playing one game. So that shows how much of commitment comes through this, and I think with their performance as well, it has shown. So I'm looking for a really good game coming out from, because there's some big names in this team. Some, especially Roach, KUCF, even Hika, Hellscream.
Yeah.
These
And
guys,
NJ as well,
so these guys have been performing insanely well throughout all the years, probably for the past 5-6 years ago. So, but like you said, not to take away anything from Revolutionary Gamers, because they've been insanely so hard fighting, especially during that last series against PNX Heroes. That was one series to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It was a very intense game as well, because PNX Heroes, they were very comfortably in the lead. But anyway, just talking about a few of the rest of the qualifiers, I think you and Abdul both, you and Nightblade both covered it quite a bit. So just looking at an international standpoint as well, looking at CS:GO as a game, I mean, we've all watched professional CS:GOs. We always try to watch and learn and pick up certain things. But overall, what was your assessment of the teams and how well they've been playing? And as a competitive pro level play, what do you think about the Southeast Asia region and their CS:GO teams?
Skill wise, it's already up there. It's definitely up there. It's more of execution, like you said. Skill wise, individually, they're always up there, because it's not a matter of, oh, I shoot with this or I shoot with that, I shoot with the headshots. It's never that. It's about the strategies they execute. It's about their preparation prior to the games, and also when it comes to experience, like especially in the international standards, when you are thinking about how we can make a comeback, how can we turn around, how can we make a counter reaction towards whatever they're doing. Imagine the momentum is flowing towards them, and you need a way to break that flow, not just taking a time out and trying to just talk it out or just bring the momentum. You need to counter react to it by doing a certain strategy. So that's where I think we have room to always improve, not just Sri Lanka, but all, like, South Asia in general. But definitely, like we saw, like even Zeg Esports, now LowKey Esports, being, I think they placed ranked 16th in the top finals in WASG, the tournament that was held. So they were in the final 16 teams, which means they are already in the, like, they are representing their country, but also that means they're in the top 16 teams in the world. So which means it's a huge achievement. It's just that you need to grind more, you need to use your time more, you need to get your players to be under certain ways, and I think we are already on the way.
Yeah, so we have the knife round currently just heading on. So we do have LowKey Esports on the counter side for the moment, just because they're doing the knife round right here. So the winner will get to decide which way they want to start. So right now it looks like it is going to be LowKey Esports coming out on top, and they're going to get to decide whether they want counter terrorists or terrorists. So in this situation, what do you think would be the call coming out from LowKey Esports?
I think they would want to try to get as much of a lead as they can. So I think since this is a more of a counter-terrorist kind of a map slightly, but you never know, because last time when I casted the Global Esports versus this is the warm-up. So Global Esports versus Umamba. So for the Indian qualifier, something very unexpected happened when Umamba was making a stance, good stance against Global Esports, and that was Global Esports, the map that they chose, and they were losing. So like I said, like this, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is Revolutionary Gamers.
Yeah, this is them.
So if this map, regardless of what side you take, if you know your strats, like obviously both teams have different strats coming into this game and how you are going to deal with each other. So if you execute them perfectly or well enough, I think you can get the other team off guard. So I think it's not a matter of saying like, okay, CT, this is a CT favored or a T favored map. It's more comes down to execution.
Yeah, definitely. So right now we already do see Hika taking a decent amount of damage there. So just peeking through the double doors at mid, and then just taking a decent amount of damage there. So almost getting taken out. And it looks like we do have Friday, a little bit of engagement here, a long double doors. But will he be able to get that pick that his side needs? So looks like they are slowly moving in. He's going to jump into pit here. He does have a beautiful headshot angle, but he knows that his player is rotating as well to kind of give him a little bit of assistance. And here we go. It's going to be Benji, but he actually misses quite a few shots and he gets taken down. But they do manage to bring down Hot News and Johan in the meantime. They do lose Hellscream, and looks like they're actually doing a beautiful split here. And with that, they have taken control of the B side right now. So LowKey Esports not off to the best of starts. It's a 2-on-2 situation, but the bomb has been planted, and Zippa with a very, very good angle here spots out one of these players right now. Friday does manage to Hikka with some beautiful tap shots there, and I think they should have enough and more time to get this bomb defused. So LowKey Esports from a little bit of a rough start, some great execution coming out from Hikka to get this last 2 kills and then secure the defuse as well.
Definitely, because I think props goes to Roach there when he jumped into pit there. Even though Benjay missed a few of his shots, like Roach managed to take down 3 right then and there. Like he was counter-reacting to what's happening, and even though with 14 HP you saw how Hika came into this game, that just shows how much of experience they have in there. They're not phased by it.
Yeah, definitely, and you can always see the difference of a player who knows how to buy armor and a player who doesn't. So already you can see a beautiful angle being held here by Friday, bringing down this player coming down from B tunnels, and already using a scout, taking a few shots. Does manage to connect with a few with that wall bang right there. So he's going to peek around again. So it looks like it's going to be a scout on scout action. It's going to be Matrix going up against KUCF, but he's just trying to play it safe. I mean, if he can get a pick off, it's going to be always amazing for the side of Revolutionary Gamers. But right now, with that initial loss coming out in that first round, they do have to eco, but looks like a few of them haven't really decided to. We do see a few diggers being purchased, and obviously the scout as well with a little bit of armor because they did have that extra gold. So looks like they do manage to pick off KUCF. So Matrix with a beautiful shot to bring him down, but it's still a 4-on-4, and we do see Johan and Hero both getting taken out here once again, coming from just the tunnels, and not really working out. And right now it's like there's so much work being put out by Hellscream, I mean Friday, on that A shot angle, but Matrix once again getting another kill here. So the initial scout shot, and then a pistol already going to run into Hika. Another beautiful scout no scope shot. Excuse me.
That was totally unexpected. I don't think that should have been the case. Well, it should have been quite a quick 2 taps coming out from Hika, but that no scope just deleted Hika from there.
I don't think he was expecting, but we could see, Friday just, holding that angle, and then here once again, Matrix getting a nice trade. So here you can see the kills that came out from Friday. So when they were pushing in through B tunnels there, just the underside or the lower side of B tunnels. And now once again, you can see the utility finally being used right here. So just delaying the push coming out from the side of Revolutionary Gamers. You just delay them, make sure there's time for players to rotate, and just kind of get as much information as they possibly can. So using those Molotov, smokes, flashbangs are going to be very, very key in how they execute these takes. So right now it seems to be a buy round for Revolutionary Gamers. They have picked up their AKs. They do have a few other guns also picked up on the side. I think Hero has picked up a few different stuff. But with that, LowKey Esports just keeping what they usually had. They have the SMGs. We have Hellscream running the FAMAS as well. But other than that, we do have the M4s being picked up as well. So let's see how they do execute this take. So we do see one of these players on a shot right here, and Hikka holding a very tight angle, sees the player, and Benjay going to take up a decent amount of damage on a separate side. But there we go, the first kill going down right here. Benjay getting a kill, and now Hikka also getting one. Friday managing to cover Hikka there. So great cover fire coming in, just rotating in from center under the CT spawn here, and just getting another kill. So great stuff coming out from them. And with that, Revolutionary Gamers once again on the back foot. Only the two players. It's going to be Hero and Hot News, the only two left alive, and they're slowly making their way up B tunnels here. So let's see whether they'll be able to execute anything or whether they are going to go down and try to save here. Oh, beautiful wall bang coming out from Friday there. So once again, the Hot News is going to lose his weapons right there. And once again, Friday is there. That's going to be a triple kill for him. He's going to get 3 kills in that round. So great execution coming out from him to secure that round once again for LowKey Esports. So already 3 points to nothing. So here we can see the replay. Beautiful shots coming out from him. Great game sense.
I think that's what you can see. That's what you expect from Roach coming into this game. You see how much experience he has under his belt. So you just know how people are going to react to in these kind of situations. And like even though that was a full buy round for Revolutionary Gamers, that was kind of like wasted.
Yeah, definitely. So now we do see a little bit of a change up coming out from Revolutionary Gamers. Looks like they do want to do a B split here, leaving one player in tunnels, the rest of them moving up mid double doors right here. But Hikka is in a very good position. He's going to re-smoke it once again, making sure. So he 100% knows that there's a player there for sure because the smoke has been dropped down. He's going to move forward, looking for whether anyone is going to be on shot, trying to make no noise whatsoever because he'll be giving up a lot. So tosses in a molly right here, and the players are going to push in through. He gets down one. He's burning the rest and just zoning them out. So gets that initial pick. So great stuff coming out from him, and you can see the rest of the players pushing in through the B side here, and that is going to be Hellscream with some beautiful shots with the FAMAS to get those 2 kills. And now it's only going to be Johan. So a lot of everything not working out well for the side of Revolutionary Gamers.
I think it just shows how much of communication and understanding this team has like among each other. Beautiful headshot coming out from Johan as well, just to take down Hellscream down at B side. But there you go, Hikka taking down the return kill onto Johan. But like I was saying, it shows how much of communication is really needed in these kind of, especially FPS games, and also when it's team based. And it's just so much of communication is needed, and also understanding of how you're going to react.
So here you can see the replay once again. Hikka with some great zoning usually being used, and then it's going to be Hellscream following up with some 2 beautiful shots coming out. He does unfortunately go down later to Johan there, but end of the day they got the result that they wanted. So LowKey right now very comfortable 4-0 here in map number 1. So now we're going to take a look at KUCF. The Orbs have come out to play right here, but with that we do have Revolutionary Gamers taking control of the side, just looking for anyone, and right now he's burning. He's losing a lot of his HPs. 2 HP. He's going to get a headshot here by Hikka, and he's going to lose control. The bomb has been planted though, so that means they have a decent amount of control with that, and now he's going to get tagged up. Hikka looking for the headshot here. Now moving into the smoke, he sees it, shot, he takes it, but it's just a scout, so it's only going to do very little damage, and KUSF gets that, but he gets flanked from behind, and that is going to be Revolutionary Gamers taking their first round in this series. So great stuff coming out from them to coordinate and get that, but very interesting enough to see LowKey Esports not upgrading the weapons.
Exactly, I was just about to say, like, the fact that KUCF opted to get the scout instead of his op, like, I think it just costed them the round in that position. He managed to get 1 kill, but those kills that just tagged, I don't think that those should have been kills. So it would have been a more kind of a secured round for them, but all in all, well played by Maximum RG there.
Yeah, definitely. And now we can already see that very, very early pick coming out from Friday. He's doing a really great job. Another beautiful headshot coming out from Friday, picking up the AK that was gifted to him by Johan right there on a shot. And now we see KUSF once again just so confident with his scout shots. And Benjay is going to go down on a long here. So they're moving in right now to try and see whether they can flank and get a few more kills. But he has control of the A side right now. But Matrix is still with the bomb at spawn. 1 more shot needed. Zipper already doing a great job getting 2 kills. But KUCF once again with a beautiful scout. Who needs a,
you don't need the op. Like, if you're this skilled, and if you know that you have so much of trust, and oh my good lord, look at that flick. Like, like this is what you are expecting from the top tier players in Sri Lanka. So he's probably one of the best scopes, best offers in Sri Lanka, and it just shows that you don't need an AWP to be good, like just to get kills. You're just doing that with a scout. That shows how much of confidence they have in their skill, and also it's kind of like kind of saying you don't deserve my AWP yet.
So with that, we do see a rush strategy coming down. They managed to bring down one, but Zippa getting the trade there. Once again, he sees it. He takes the shot. KUCF once again might get pushed through, but we do have Friday coming in for the rotation. More mollies being placed down, so they can't really get the bomb planted yet. But with that, looks like they are going for a tunnel spawn. But with that, Matrix just get taken out here. Once again, Zippa trying to block a lot of these flashes coming in. Friday jumps up, but he gets headshot almost immediately by Hot News. And right now, Hika with a great position. They're coming down through the double doors. Might get flanked out. Hika gets taken down, and with a P90, is he going to make it work? And he gets taken out once again with the scout. Are you kidding me, KUCF? What is going on? And that is another beautiful round coming up from LowKey Esports, and the defuse is there. KUCF, are you kidding me?
He just got a no scope onto that player. From a scout, that is. And I think it was kind of what now I kind of see what KUCF was trying to do. Okay, I'm not going to expend my cash on investing on a scope. Let me kill them and get their AWP. So I save a lot of cash there. So
with that, we do see KUCF going down though. So he does manage to bring down Hot News, but immediately gets traded out by Hero. So that is definitely going to be a very favorable trade, because Hero still has that AWP. So with that, Hika once again a little bit of a change. So usually we do see Friday holding down that A short side, but with that we do see a long push coming in from the side of Maximum Revolutionary Gamers. Is this going to work out? The Friday has a very good position to work with here. So right now the plant is going down, looking for this player's head if you can find it, and now covering shot is going to be Hika here. Once again, Friday does get taken down, so peeking a little bit earlier. Now Benje moving with the AWP, going for that no scope but not really connecting, and Zippa might actually get taken down. So Benje with that one kill, but he immediately gets flanked from behind, and that is going to be Revolutionary Gamers taking their second round here in this series. So great stuff coming out from them. Looks like that a long rush actually worked out quite well for them.
Definitely, like I feel like if you're changing your positions as players in those areas that you're sure of, it kind of breaks the flow, because you know how these players come through that area. So if especially if Roach Friday like changed his position from going from catwalk to the A side, I think that kind of affected the flow a bit, and you could see it just them going down, like they weren't expecting this.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, you can see the confidence coming out from Revolutionary Gamers already moving in, but RG, I mean, they do already lose Matrix, they lose Zippa as well. So great stuff coming to cover each other once again. So all these players actually running in through A long. They do manage to get the few trades that they needed, and with that they lose Friday as well as Hika. But now once again we do have KUCF with that AWP getting, it's a scout getting flashed up, and with that it's only going to be Benje in this 1 versus 3 situation. And Revolutionary Gamers seem to have found an answer, and a beautiful op shot coming out from Hero right there, and it's going to be Revolutionary Gamers once again getting another point on the board, and slowly lessening that gap that is between LowKey Esports and
definitely RG. If you are on the T side, or regardless, if you don't manage to keep that gap in between like 2 to 3 rounds, or at least at around 4, that's kind of manageable when you're going into the second half of this game. So as long as you maintain, and if you are definitely able to just overtake them, but if you manage to keep it under those times, and I think under that amount of rounds, I think that's where you should be looking at.
Yeah, definitely. So you can see some of this great coordination actually coming out from the side of LowKey Esports. You know, it seems that every time we do see Roach playing or Hika playing in that, a long pit area, he's always covered really well by another player to assist him. So usually it's either Friday or we do have someone else, Benje covering
normally
him.
playing car. So when you're doing that, like I feel like Roach and Benje are 2 players who are very much in sync, and also KUCF who's always there to back them up. So I think the normal split, which is like 3-2 on 3 on A and B 2 on B, that's the normal the basics of the of CS:GO. So if you do that, I think you should be looking at like expanding that gap. So I think LowKey Esports just now planning on just getting their groove back. I think they're just getting warmed up. They're coming into this game. They are definitely more than confident enough. But revolutionary gamers, they are not to be taken slightly. But as you can see, the op shots and everything is coming through. So they are not just to be. They are not just the underdog. It's just for the sake of it. They do have the skill to back it up.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever they do have the advantage, I mean, we see Hero, whenever he has that peaker's advantage, especially with the AWP, he seems to be connecting with every single shot that he's taking, and he's making it really count, because when he is able to bring down KUCF in most of these engagements, it creates so many openings for his side to get onto the side, maybe stop a lot of the pressure that will be coming out when you usually have either a scout or a AWP. But right now, we do have a little bit of a pause. So right now you can see both these teams. So it looks like the game has resumed. So once again we'll be moving into round number 10 here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of execution they're going to go for here. But looks like once again it's going to be an eco round coming in from LowKey Esports, going in with the pistols. And he does take a AW op shot there, but he actually unfortunately going to miss. So maybe a little bit of caster's curse coming through. But Matrix running into KUCF gets taken down almost immediately. They need to get one of these kills with the pistols, try to pick up a gun and maybe then play off that. But right now they're having a lot of trouble. So you can see these mollies just to make sure that there's no one in Ninja as well, and he's gonna get it burnt quite a bit. So Hellscream, will he be able to disengage? No, he will not. He's gonna get taken out. A beautiful headshot coming in from Friday, playing in this position, seems to be working out for him quite well. So if they can get his gun and pass it on to someone who can properly utilize it. Oh, peeking out, what a shot coming in from Hot News here. And indeed, it was a hot shot coming through, and once again picks up an AK, but Friday is going to decide to save it here. And with that, we do see Mars, Benjay actually just moving in, going for this 1v1. It's going to be a pistol battle between him and Hero is going to come out on top without taking too much damage, but coming out with just about 8 health. But with that, the save is going to be there, and looks like they will at least be able to secure an AK for themselves.
And it's going on to Roach as well, which is really good. And the fact that I wanted to point out is like revolutionary gamers are playing the double op. They are playing the double op on, and I think that's very versatile. And also it's very you see this like Hot News, and also I think Hero is the one who's playing the other op. Like these two players have been showing up well in these few rounds, and they've closed down the gap comparatively very well.
So with that, once again, let's see whether Revolutionary Gamers will be able to execute this long take. Once again, smokes are being dropped down and the players come out, and a beautiful trade coming in there. So it's going to be Friday trading in for Zipper right there. So Zipper getting the initial kill, but Hika once again just in a great spot to get that trading, expecting them to come from long. So with that, like you said, double up always works really well when you're trying to playing in Dust 2, because there's so many long range situations that you do find yourselves in. So with that, you have the B side, the tunnels, which you can use as a long range, if you want to sit back and just kind of op anyone who's on the side, A long obviously, and then looking through double doors, and anyone who's trying to come in through A short even. There's so many advantages, spots that you can utilize, and with that we do see a smoke coming in. So KUCF knows that there is a player here going to get the high ground here, looking for anyone who might be pushing through. He's already pushed up quite fast. So AK versus a pistol right here. He's going to take a few shots here, but Benji does get taken down. But a beautiful shot coming out from KUCF. So even though you take a shot, you need to make sure you move, because you can always line up that shot nicely. And he's going to pick up an AK for himself, and this is going to be detrimental in whether they can retake this site right here. But the bomb has not been planted. It's still in the hands of Hero. He's going to take a look at this AK skin, and he's going to see whether there's anyone playing close. Looking on at A shot right here, looking, anyone's going to peek. A long is also quite covered quite well. So once again, we do see the flashes coming, the smokes coming in, going to blind both of them. But with that, they're still taking their time in their movements, waiting for a little bit more utility, and he's going to get through here. KUCF moving in. He has one of the players, brings down one, looking for the second one as well, and he's going to bring him down as well. So great execution once again. KUCF just putting the game on his back and moving forward there. So the initial kill with that scout on B, and the rotation onto A, and to secure those last 2 kills. So great stuff coming out from him.
That just shows how much of how calm they are in these kind of pressure situations. But like beautifully played by KUCF there. Like he knew what he had to do, and that wall bang with that scout onto the I think it was Johan. So
so Benji getting taken down almost immediately, and he really made it there quite fast. But immediately the trade is there. KUCF looks like he has deemed them worthy to use that op right here.
Definitely.
So it's going to be a 1-1 run in here, and it's going to be Zipper coming out on top, bringing down Friday with just a sliver of HP. 8 HP left here, and looks like one of these players moves in, and Hellscream is going to get the trade. So right now it's a 2-for-2 trade with 3 players left, and he's going to switch to that AK-47. And let's see how these things work out. But KUCF, he does have the op. Meanwhile, Revolutionary Gamers running the double op like you mentioned. So let's see whether KUCF can pull it up for his team, or whether Revolutionary Gamers can land their shots here and maybe turn things around coming into round number 12 here.
They're going to molly the catwalk there because they know that these guys are there, but they're getting, like, as you can see, Hellscream is doing exactly what KUCF did the previous round. Oh, there seems to be a bit of a connection loss.
Yeah, so with that, just moving in, like, once again, just talking about the double op strategy that they were using. It seems to be working out for them quite well in terms of, how things are working out. I mean, initially we saw, when the initial rounds where they didn't have too much of an economy, they were losing rounds, but they were still gaining a lot of...
they got the kills, and also they got the bomb plan down. So once they did that, their economy was not as bad as they wanted to, because they won, even though they lost those rounds, they got like 3 to 4 kills always. Like, and that kind of helped, like how we saw in the 3rd round or so. Like, they already opted to go for a full buy with the op itself. So which means you're spending almost like 4,000, like 4,700 for an op. So that's a lot of cash that you're expending. But if you're making it worthwhile getting your shots down, I think that's the way to go. Plus they actually did, whereas they managed to get the op from KUCF as well, so the double op coming into play as well. So that kind of secured them to get that good vision, or like to get one side at least, especially one A-Long.
Yeah, I think A-Long has been the side that has been working out for them really well. So worried that we'll be getting back into the game, and now Hikka does spot out one of these players, moved up very aggressively, remaining on 14 HP, looking for this last player. It's only going to be Hot News, and he gets caught out here. The spray is coming down. This time, no chance with that, no scope, and that is going to be LowKey Esports taking round number 13 there, and now moving into round number 14. So this is probably the last 2 rounds here, so we are probably going to be seeing a lot of buy rounds or forced buy rounds even. So once again coming into replay, Hika with a very controlled headshot there, but almost getting taken out by Matrix. And then Hot News, seeing that no scope there, a little bit unfortunate. Just that little shimmy to the right, a little bit of a strafe.
You don't expect anyone to be coming as aggressively as like that anyway.
But right now we see the aggressive movement coming in from the side of Revolutionary Gamers. That is not working out for them at all, because we do have Benji as well as Hika just working together to isolate these players. Once again the flash comes down, and he's going to get sprayed down. Is he going to be able to bring him down? It's just literally 1 HP from going down. Johan surviving with 3 HP. He's on 3 HP. Oh, there we see the offshot. Oh, the flick. I thought that connected. That is so close. He sees the play. He saw his hand right there. Once again, going to toss in a medium throw flash once here. So he's going to try and see whether he can make it through. Just push through the middle. Johan currently 3 HP. Can he make the magic work for the side of Revolutionary Gamers? Already creeping through the double doors here. But you can see KUCF with some great understanding, and he's going to immediately run into Matrix Friday, securing that kill. And with that, it's only going to be Johan left alive. Can he do anything here? 1 versus 4. Nope. And that is going to be the round once again, going the way of LowKey Esports. 10 rounds to 4, moving into the final round before halftime.
Like now you can see the double up going on to the side of LowKey now. So I'm very curious to find out how they manage to utilize these double ops. Especially, I think it's Benjay who's the other opper, who's going to be the other opper. Other than KUCF, we've seen him come and time again coming huge in for LowKey Esports.
Yeah, so with that, once again, double op strat this time being run by LowKey Esports, more like because they've been gifted 2 ops. But with that, you can see the mollies and utility being used off, and now Benjay already getting his early pick on A-Long, and Hot News also getting taken out. So the double op strategy already paying off for them quite a bit. Going to flash and just move forward and see whether they can stop this A-Long push coming in. Zipper is in position once again, takes a few shots with that AK, but nothing really connecting. And here comes the flash. The peak is there, but Benjay has an AWP this time. It's not going to work. It's going to be a very clean take from him there. He's going to bring down Zipper, and now Revolutionary Gamers just before half time, finding themselves in a very difficult spot, but Hero with a beautiful headshot coming out with his AK-47 to slowly maybe make themselves, come back into this game right here. It's still a 2-on-4 situation, which is a little bit rough, and now Johan adopting the KUCF strat and running with the scout. Oh, he gets caught out. He has no clue. He has no clue that Friday is on his tail. Once again takes a scout shot, doesn't know at all. He's going to pick up a separate gun, and now Friday taking the shots, and there we go. It's going to be Johan getting taken out here. Great lurk coming in from Friday there to secure that kill, but with that, they only have one more player left alive. It's only going to be a Hero, and the moment this smoke kind of runs out, yep, oops, beautiful one tap.
And plus, imagine you having yourself so much of the confidence to actually flank them all the way to their spawn. So that's the level that LowKey Esports is as playing. So knowing this, that's almost like what, 7 rounds of a gap. So
yeah, that's quite a bit.
Which I feel like is too much of a gap that they have given LowKey.
I mean, I think anything can happen, right? Because it's counter-terrorist, like we said, they do get into the sides quite early. So it'll come down to how they kind of hold their counter-terrorist side, or whether LowKey Esports can kind of outplay them on the terrorist side.
Definitely, this is what I kind of want to see, how LowKey is going to actually execute that T side. Because we saw how well versed they were in holding those sites where they are covering it. They're more they understand how they work on the sides of catwalk and A-long and even rotations towards B. They understand how it works because they know how they're going to be engaged on rather. So I'm kind of curious as to see how LowKey is going to play how they're going to play their hand on to the minds of Revolutionary Gamers. Are they going to take the advantage rather of being on the CT side?
Yeah, definitely. I think, more coordination is obviously going to be needed, and I think, having that double A-long strat is always going to work out really well, no matter how many people run in through. What we saw from LowKey Esports, obviously one player playing pit, and then we have one just, covering the angle through car, and that just gives you a little bit of, it takes you by surprise because you don't expect that kind of thing to usually happen. But obviously both these teams are very, very good teams, so it's going to be very interesting. I think everything needs to start with the pistol round, and I believe if Revolutionary Gamers can take the pistol round, they're going to secure themselves this round as well as the next round, because obviously LowKey Esports will be forced to eco unless they all decide to buy Deagles and run at them, because they do certain things like that when they feel like it.
But rather, if we saw last time when they were in an eco, they managed to bring it up. It was just the scout that was there, and they managed to turn around that round, which was supposed to be Revolutionary Gamers round. They had already the bomb planted. They just had to cover this thing, but all they had was KUCF to deal with, and they couldn't.
Yeah, definitely. So those options are definitely there, but if they need to start building that momentum, because CS:GO in my belief is usually a very momentum based game. So when one team can always, it's very difficult to break, but once you break it, you just keep running with that momentum, and it's very easy to take over the game. So if maximum Revolutionary Gamers can actually find that momentum and start getting these picks over and over again, I feel like LowKey might be in a little bit of trouble. But right now, see, the trade's already starting quite well, but at the end of the day, the headshots are what matters, because at this moment it's going to be just those one shot headshots if you can connect with them. So looks like it's going to be Friday, the only one kind of holding that tunnels area, just coming through T spawn, and just waiting for anyone who might want to push through. So with that, looks like they are already on catwalk right here, moving in very slowly through A shot once again. So they are moving in a group of 3, so they can always get that trade if necessary, unless we do see the player just near elevator, I believe. This
one at A. There's literally one person at A. So if they push this, I think this could be a side take.
Oh, but he's actually doing so well. Hero here already picking up 2 kills, and Matrix also picking up as well, and now Ika as well as Friday just get decimated here. And this is the start we were talking about. Revolutionary Gamers with that beautiful angle coming out from Hero, bringing down 3 in that round. I mean, they were moving as a group, but it didn't seem to matter. Just headshot after headshot after headshot. Great cover, great rotation coming in from the side of Revolutionary Gamers, and it worked out really well for them. So with that, we'll be going into the next round. Once again, we do see a few diggers being purchased. But other than that, of course, this is the start that Revolutionary Gamers needed, and they're picking up their SMGs. So how they utilize this is going to be completely up to them. So what kind of strategy is LowKey Esports going to run in this second round of the second half?
I think they're like they just run at them because they haven't opted to go for the armor, so they are kind of just holding on to that cash, whatever they have. So if they get the kills, they should be looking for kills as of now. So this is what they are going for, and they are not being very successful in it. And
but Hero does get taken down. So that's actually just one. But Johan now spraying away the FAMAS, and with that Friday, actually with some beautiful ducking and just showing a lot of understanding. Yes, composure as well as understanding on how his movements are supposed to be. What part of his body is in vision. But with that, end of the day, we do see Matrix coming to clean out that kill, and that is going to be the start that Revolutionary Gamers needed, and that is going to be the 7-point lead, slowly dropping down to 5. So once again, just taking a look at this replay, it's going to be Hero. I think it's going to be the A long 2 kills, yes. So it's going to be Hot News once again, just controlling his prey, getting these 2 kills, and just surviving with 2 HP there. So once again, this is going to be a very important round for sure, whether LowKey Esports can secure this round for themselves. So we do see a few Gulliers being picked up, and a nice spray control coming out from Hikka here to bring down Zippa, and that is that first very important entry frag that they need to take control of the side. But they're waiting. Oh, he actually pushed in all the way. Hellscream is going to fall back, but immediately gets traded out. KUCF is there to bring down Matrix. A little bit too aggressive maybe.
I think it was just the fact that he got through there. He wasn't expecting the cover shot coming from KUCF. But if he managed to take down Hika over there, he would have been able to push all the way through to spawn, which I think was a good move, but he just didn't manage to do that.
Yeah, so with that, we do see once again, Friday just getting a beautiful headshot onto Hero, and now Hika once again getting that second player at B, and with that, Benjay going to clean up the round once again. So very well, very cleanly executed round coming out from LowKey Esports, and what surprised me was the fact that Revolutionary Gamers actually pushed so aggressively onto the side of LowKey Esports, which made no sense because they knew that this was going to be a buy round for LowKey, and instead of waiting for them to you're on defense, you're not on offense.
Exactly. So the objective is for the T side to come and plant. So you wait for it. You don't push into them. So it was a rather different approach coming from Revolutionary Gamers. Look at this.
Oh, so this is something new, and Ori brings down 2, so Benjay getting 2 already, and they're going to immediately fall back knowing that, yeah, this isn't going to work for us, trying to take, LowKey Esports a little bit by surprise. And with that, they do manage to bring down Matrix as well, so now they are running around, so it seems like they are attacking this time for sure, and Johan is going to be the only person left alive because they had that information that Maximum Revolutionary Gamers are on an eco round here. When he drop down, boom, headshot.
I think he was still on the air when he died.
Yeah, probably. I think he was still dropping, and he's like, yeah.
I don't want to come down to earth straight to heaven on the way. So, Benji, this is what I wanted to see. Okay, if you're rushing, don't hesitate. The moment you do that, go on an eco, there's nothing for you to lose. Run at them. If you're running at them, don't half-ass it. So, if you need to go all the way.
Yeah, definitely. So that's something that they missed out on. And now Matrix, they just picked up an AWP, and now Hot News gets taken down. And Hika with some beautiful entry fragging here, gets a third as well. What a beautiful entry coming out from Hika here. Brings down 3 on this A side with some beautiful AK control. And with that, it's only going to be Zippa and Matrix. Hika gets the 4th. Can he get the ace? He's looking for this last place. Sees him. He shoots, but he gets taken down, unfortunately. Zippa just putting a damper on things right here. He gets surrounded though, and that is going to be LowKey Esports claiming that round really well. What a run coming in from Hikka right there.
What was that? Hikka, he just went in. Look at that. There's one, that's the second, coming at the corner over there near barrels, and this one, if you're already there, you're fighting against 3. How come you're not supporting each other? And that's one entry fragger that is. Then this I don't know. Like I'm confused as to what's happening. I think it's just the nerves getting to them.
With that, we do see Johan getting taken down. A little bit of wild spray coming through these LowKey Esports players. Just trying to cover short right now. They're going to push in. They do lose Benji, but the trade is there. So it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade. So once again, this A short strat seems to be working really well for them. Getting those entry frags, and Hika really, really great spot here. And once again, Matrix kind of revealing his position. Gets immediately taken out by KUCS Pistol. And Hika is going to bring around Zipper, and with that is going to be everyone. They're trying to get the bomb plant down as well, just for a little bit of extra cash. And that is going to be LowKey Esports on map point right now, just needing this one round to secure.
The best part is Revolutionary Gamer going with 4 ops.
This is some fanatic style, Oh, he takes the first shot, jumps across. 4 ops right here. So this is something to see. Let's see whether it works out for Revolutionary Gamers. If they do get into that close combat situation, I think
it's just the fact that okay, we've lost this, so let's just have fun.
Let's go for the next round. Now Johan looking, takes a shot, but he misses, and Friday with a beautiful headshot. Once again running in, another beautiful headshot coming in from Friday to secure that second kill as well. And they have the B side right now. Okay, try retaking with 3 ops. Let's see how that works out for you. So Revolutionary Gamers right now looking for anyone who's willing to poke their head from a long range. But you can see Hellscream and the rest of the team already in a very good position to defend this plant. How is Revolutionary Gamers going to execute this? Once again, it's going to be Hika with that beautiful double kill to end things off. And that is going to be map number 1 going the way of LowKey Esports very comfortably. And might I remind you, this map was picked by Revolutionary Gamers. So it was something that they were very comfortable with. But then once again, they're CSGO players. I mean, everyone's played in this map for sure. And so great execution coming out from LowKey Esports to take map number 1. And they're now just 1 map away from securing their place in the Sri Lankan qualifiers to go up against the rest of the teams that have qualified for the InGame Esports South Asia Cup. But anyway, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be heading into a very short break. And once we do come back, we'll have game 2 ready for you guys with some more amazing CSGO action. Back, ladies and gentlemen, to the InGame Esports South Asia Cup, where we have our final qualifier here in Sri Lanka. So first game so far, very dominantly performed. Obviously, LowKey Esports taking game number 1, and I do believe we do have game number 2 underway. But once again, just introducing, casting with me today once again is going to be none other than None Finished. So far game number 1, great stuff coming out from LowKey Esports.
Very, very dominant, I would say, because you could see the experience coming through them, experience showing, and also the skill, definitely, especially from Roach and also KUCF.
So with that, the second map is going to be Train, and looks like after the knife round, LowKey Esports have decided to play on the terrorist side. So let's see how this execution is done. It's already coming down from dropping down from Pop Dog, and Zippa getting 2 nice kills there, but the trade was finally made. So rotation should be coming in. I think he spots one of these players here. Hero Raz once again. Looks like the rotation is coming in a little bit late, so the communication is a little bit slow coming out on the side of Revolutionary Gamers. But now Hot News taking up this 1v1, and he actually just managed to get some support from Johan, bringing down Mars as well as KUCF. Friday, the only one left alive right now in this 1 versus 3 situation. Can he pull it off in this pistol round? Very important way to start things off. The momentum is going to be very important, and he's going to go all the way back to the connector there onto the spawn, flicking and trying to get a shot here, but doesn't actually find exactly where Hero Raz is, and he's going to get taken down, and that is going to be round number 1 going the way of Maximum Revolutionary Gamers.
Definitely very well played, very composed. You could see the communications coming through from them very well. But I think the initial round kind of lacked a bit of explosion, like explosiveness coming from LowKey Esports when Zippa took down 2 of the LowKey Esports players.
I mean, just trying to drop in from Pop Dog. They were expecting maybe the first person gets taken out and the second guy manages to get the trade. But in that situation, they were able to, just get those 2 kills really fast. So Zippa doing a great job there. And, that was the difference between them winning the round and losing the round.
Yes, definitely. You could see, because also they like the fact that even though Friday, Roach had, all of them had the I think USPs. All of them had the rest of the team, like Zippa and the rest of Revolutionary Gamers had the USPs, so it does not recoil as much. So it's like the headshots are shots that you are very confident about. So, and with these players knowing that these are high skill players and the top notch players, the top tier players in the country, I think that's kind of a given that they are going to get the shots or spot on.
So with that, looks like we will be resuming and going into round number 2 here. It's going to be LowKey Esports once again taking on Revolutionary Gamers, and right now looking at the score, it's going to be 1-0. Revolutionary Gamers taking that first round, but LowKey Esports winning that first map right here. So right now advantage is going to be for the side of Revolutionary Gamers. They have, expecting her team to come down, getting the second one as well. I feel like there's a trend here.
Very deja vu moment, I would say, but Zippa, very, very casually just taking both of them down.
It was like a very nice, aim training simulator. So Friday, but with a beautiful headshot there with this Deagle, he'll be able to pick up this SMG if he can. He sees the player, tries to go for the shot, but Hero Raz is much faster, brings down the second one as well, going to pick up the pistol, and the support is there from Johan, and that is going to be LowKey getting LowKey cleaned up right there.
Definitely, because I think plus that was their eco round, and they have to go for a second eco now just because they couldn't manage to get a few kills.
No, so usually now there's a little bit of a change where when you lose a round you get a decent amount of gold back. So actually when it comes to the third round, they can buy it. Yeah. So this is going to be a very important round for the side of LowKey Esports. You can see all the armor, and immediately Zippa is like, are you going to do it again? Third time's the charm. Usually, actually getting sprayed through the smoke right there. Friday getting that kill onto Hot News, and now Johan and Hikka actually going in for a little bit of a battle right there. Zippa might be the one actually coming in, but he actually gets pushed in right there, and he's going to get taken out. Matrix with a great movement to bring down Benjay. So once again, KUSF looks like they've actually taken control of this A side, going in for the plant. Zippa actually might get cornered here, but the control is just not there, and Hellscream is able to clean up Zippa, and once again we do see Hero Raz moving in. It's a 2-on-3 situation. Is he going to be able to, looking at the Z connector right here, finds out one of these players, brings down one, knows exactly where the second one is, pulls out his pistol, no time to reload, but he's only one shot from getting taken down, but waiting for the defuse to happen, and Hero Raz actually gets taken down there by a nade coming out from Hellscream, and with that now it's only going to be Matrix with a nice cleanup there, and will they have time? Yes, he has defuse kit, so they definitely have time to get this defuse. Great stuff coming out from Revolutionary Gamers, and right now LowKey Esports not doing too well on their map, which is Train.
Wasn't quite expected from LowKey, but I think the fact that it was kind of a very important round, like you said, like it was their first full buy and they needed to get some things done, but they still managed to get that bomb plant down. So a little bit of saving grace for them on terms of cash.
Yeah, so Johan in missing that initial shot with the AWP. Very interesting to see Johan with the AWP in this round and not Hero. So usually we did see in the previous match some great opping coming out from Hero. So this time Johan is the one going to be opting to go for that. So with that, Friday might run into Hero Razia, but he immediately gets taken down. So Digger coming in handy, and with that they'll pick themselves up a SMG right there. So Matrix with that AK-47 holding a very tight angle, looking for anyone to enter this B side. But right now you can see LowKey Esports immediately kind of trying to rectify the mistakes that they made and playing it much more slower this time. They have all their players ready and waiting to get into the engagements if they need to. Is Benjay going to drop down into Zippa's waiting arms once again? Oh, looks like with that the smoke's coming in. So hot news once again, looking for these players. Looks like they have entered the site here, looking for anyone who's coming in, and beautiful Molly coming out to zone out hot news, but he brings down one, but immediately gets burnt out, and with that it's going to be LowKey Esports getting onto the site, getting the plant down. They have the numbers advantage, they have the guns, and once again Benjay bringing down Zippa as well, and LowKey Esports turning it around. It's only going to be Johan with this AWP. Is he going to save it, or is he going to go for the plays right here? Looking for anyone that he can find, no one really peeking, and with that, is he going to go for the save? Is he going to go for the shots? The bomb has been planted, he's going for the save, but he's keeping his eyes on any area that he might be shot from. So if they can find him, but he needs to save this op right here, because if he doesn't, it'll be a huge detriment to his side. So with that, rotating out is going to be LowKey Esports, and with this eco round win, it's going to give them a lot of confidence going into round number 4.
He managed to take down Benjay, but he sees someone there. But if they push him right now,
I don't think they're going to go for it. So yeah, they're going to let him keep the op right there. But with that, they don't have too much in terms of an economy on the side of the counter, so they are probably going to have to maybe save this round as well. But we'll see whether they want to go in for those SMGs or not. So we do see the double op. And the rest have gone in for, it's a force buy round basically for the side of Revolutionary Gamers. LowKey Esports having picked up everything that they need right here, but no ops being played. Zippa gets taken down, so great entry coming out from Hikka right there. Knows that Johan is on the high ground with that op, and Matrix gets taken down, so everyone is falling down like flies right here. Going to pick up one is going to be Johan, but doesn't see where the second player is. He might get oh, he actually gets the second one as well. They know exactly where he gets a third. Johan on fire right here. Switching into an AK-47 as well. And what? Oh, okay, never mind. I was talking about how Hero should be opping, but I changed my mind.
So that was like, I think the last shot onto Hikka was a no scope, and it was insanely good. The fact that they came into the site, Hikka got those few entry kills, but Hellscream managed to take down Johan. But really good round coming out from Johan. I think that kind of gives them that confidence boost, and also, you know, calm their nerves.
So this is the last kill. Hellscream just exactly knowing that, you know, he has to check. I mean, he can't just refuse because there are 2 players still left alive and the advantage is too big. But with that, LowKey Esports once again back on the board right here, and Maximum RG finding themselves in an eco round. Might be trying to do something a little bit different. All of them have come onto the A side here to take it with control. The rush is coming in. Matrix getting a beautiful kill. KUCF with that AWP getting a nice wall bang onto Hot News, and Hellscream going to have to push through right now with his AK-47 as well, looking for these players, but they do lose one weapon. So with that, Matrix picking up the AK-47. Johan gets traded out as well. So great stuff coming out from Friday, and Benjay with a little bit of support, but immediately gets taken out from Matrix, who's playing the high ground right here on this train, but immediately gets taken out by KUCF. He won't miss those shots, and with that, Zippa finding himself in a 1 versus 3 situation. The nade comes out, taking a few more shots, and with that, KUCF once again with the triple kill in that round with the final finish with that pistol. So great stuff, and they're going to even things out 3-3. So LowKey Esports already on the comeback.
Good comeback coming up from LowKey Esports. They got 3 rounds in a row now, so which means they're getting into their groove. They're getting those kills. They're getting those shots. They are making sure that they connect. And also, I like how Hikka is playing aggressively and also getting those entry frags into it. So I think that's a key point or key way of the strat how LowKey plays.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, It is a buy round for the side of Revolutionary Gamers. So once again, we're talking about those, important rounds coming through, and this is going to be one of those. And now Friday with the beautiful molly here to start burning the players once again. But Hero is there to get one of these kills, and Johan also with a beautiful shot onto the health scream. So already 3 players going down on the side of LowKey Esports, but we do see a kill in return coming through from Friday here with this AK-47, looking for this next player. Can he turn things around? KUCF with a nice shot there, and Zippa going to be able to bring down Friday here, and it's only going to be KUCF in a 1 versus 3 situation. Finds out one player there. I think he's just ran past. Oh no, it's Matrix, so it's own teammate. He sees KUCF, and there is the flick coming out from Matrix to finish him off, and another great round coming out from Maximum Revolutionary Gamers. Finally, after that 3-round break, getting another round under their belt.
I think it was just the fact that those quick kills coming up from I think it was Hero as well as Johan. I think those 2 players have been very fundamentally key in the wins of for Revolutionary Gamers.
So with that, once again, we find LowKey Esports in our eco round here. So it seems like, the situations keep changing around here and there. But Zippa already waiting for anyone that might enter. Matrix gets a nice kill onto Benjay with that AW, moving in aggressively onto the B long area here. And once again, Friday is going to drop down, get a kill onto Zippa, pick up his gun, and then go all the way back up to meet up with his team. And we do see KUCF getting taken out by Johan. Johan might almost get traded out, but Friday has a really great positioning here, but he can't really find out where he is. So with that, once again, the peak is there, going for the shots, but Johan immediately getting a kill on the Friday, but the trade is there coming in from Hellscream. So it's a 2-on-3 situation. It's still anyone's round. Can LowKey execute here is the question.
They seem to be kind of stuck at ladder, so they don't know where to push into.
So entries there, Hot News with a great position, getting down, bringing down one, going for the second one as well, but Hikka with a nice reactionary shot coming out, and with that they might actually get the plant down. So we see they're just coming in through Ivy right now. We have one player coming in through Ivy and the next one coming in from the terrorist spawn, but a beautiful shot coming out from Matrix once again with that AWP to secure the round for the side of Revolutionary Gamers, and they're doing much better in this map than their own map.
Because I feel like another round, like people think, oh, we are really good at this map. They kind of tend to forget the fact that these maps have been played over and over and over again by the top teams in Sri Lanka, and also they do have their own strats coming into the games and the series. So, like, it's not a matter of how the strats come through, it's a matter of how you execute the strats. So I think as of now, I think Maximum RJ is doing it really, really well.
Yeah, right now, but let's not forget that this is a very, very good map for the side of counter-terrorists, because the positioning for them is always going to be great. But as I mentioned, that Hikka is with a beautiful headshot onto Johan with that AK-47, getting that initial entry fag. Zippa does go down to Hellscream, but Hellscream has support from Hikka once again to get a beautiful trade. And right now, slowly A is getting taken control of by LowKey Esports, and once again we might see the momentum shifting. Hero already going to run through the smoke, going to get taken out by Hikka, and that is going to be a 4 against 1 with Matrix probably wanting to save here. Going to take the corner, sees him, and a beautiful headshot. Hikka once again with some amazing performances, getting a 4K in that round. Beautiful performance coming out from him in this 9th round right there.
I think these are really good plays coming out from. I think it's just the fact that they have idea of how their other team is playing. I'm sure this is not the first time these two teams are facing against each other, so they do understand, okay, this is how these players play, and so on.
Oh, with that we actually see Benjay getting rushed by the entire team, and Hikka is there with the trade once again, pulling out the pistol, doesn't know where this player is, finds him on the high ground, switches back to the AK, takes a few more shots, but the trade is there. Hikka getting a little bit of support here, bringing down Hellscream. So Zippa with a great trade coming out there, bringing down Hellscream after picking up the AK-47, but now it's a 2-on-1 situation, and a very quick round indeed, and that is going to be the final kill once again going the way of Hikka. And wow, Benjay just got taken out by surprise. He's like, yeah, they're not going to, and then suddenly all 5 of them are right in front of him.
Exactly, because that round probably took like less than 40 seconds to entirely complete, but like this is how I explain, like coming into the game, they have different strats up their sleeves, so you can't like never say, okay, this is how they play, they're going to come from here, they're going to come from there, but it's a matter of execution.
So with that, Zippa already getting taken out on this eco round. Zippa, they look like they're actually double ecoing, which is very interesting. They really want to get their strats going for them, and like you said, they're running at them and it doesn't seem to be working, but end of the day, it gets you to where you need to be, and which is the next round, obviously. And with that, LowKey Esports once again bringing back another 3 rounds, and we'll be moving into round number 12 here. So just a few more rounds off the halftime, but right now the teams are very even in terms of score.
I think since this is a very, I would say it's a CT flavored map, so I would say like them having around like probably around 5 to 6 rounds in this caliber. I think they're quite doing well, considering the fact that this is a CT favored map.
So, but with that, the trades are coming in. So we do see Friday going down. We do see Hikka also getting taken out there, but immediately a beautiful shot coming out from KUCF to turn things around and getting a second as well. So that is going to be him bringing down the numbers on the side of Revolutionary Gamers, and now they're going to go for the Plant Health Scream, faking it, looking for anyone who might react and come in through. Now they know exactly where one of these players are. He's going to be in Z connected right here, going to hop in. He's going to be Hot News, looking for anyone who might be in that Pop Dog area, but with that he does manage to push on through, but Hellscream is there with the shot onto Hero to bring him down as well. And with that, Hot News is only going to be the one last man standing here, and given that they had to double eco to get to this point, I feel like he might need to try and save this op.
I have a feeling as well. I think it's just the fact that like
never
mind, like because they know that these guys have just went through a double eco, and just because they are low on cash, so which means if they don't save up as much as they can, like they're going to like probably another two ecos for the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, LowKey Esports showing some dominance and some form coming out from that map number 1 that we saw. And once we do go into the counter side, things might get a lot more easier for them. But with that, Benji already pushing up into the in-between trains right here, finds out one, brings him down as well. So Hero as well as Zipta both getting taken down. Hikka with a beautiful shot onto Johan, bringing him down. It's going to be a body shot though. And with that, once again, the numbers are dwindling. A beautiful shot through the smoke, Benji. Wow, and with that, Hellscream is going to be able to clean up Hot News, and that is going to be another very fast round coming out from the side of LowKey Esports. Revolutionary Gamers, they seem to be quite in control, but right now they seem to be in a little bit of a rough spot.
Because it just shows how much of composure and also game awareness is there in the side from the side of LowKey Esports players. Because it's like, it's not the fact that you see them, it's knowing the fact that okay, these are the spots that I would be in.
So right there we saw Zippa pulling off a little bit of a Stewie 2K right there, running through the smoke and getting that pick onto Benji, but things are still very even, and once again it's going to be Zippa right here getting down 2, almost getting the 3rd as well. It's going to be Hellscream surviving with 2 HP, and now Matrix moving in through Ivy right here. Scoped in, takes a shot, but he's going to miss, and Hellscream immediately getting the trade right there. That initial shot coming out from Hellscream just forced Matrix's aim to shoot upwards. That's why he kind of missed that AWP shot. So with that, it is going to be a 1v1 right here. And oh, what a shot from Hellscream! Sorry, it was a 1 versus 2, but amazing shot coming out from Hellscream. That was his round for sure. And it looked good for the side of Revolutionary Gamers while Matrix had that angle, but then from there I just...
And he did all of that with 2 HP, so it just goes to show how much of composure. You wouldn't be faced by the fact that, oh, I only have X amount of HP, so I don't want to push this through. Oh, this is something that I've always seen the pros as well doing as well. That smoke straight going on to the top of A side.
Yeah, but anyway, amazing entry coming out from Friday. So like you said, great smokes coming in, great execution. Hikka does go down though, but Friday with a beautiful entry coming out to get those 2 kills, and KUCF so confident. He doesn't even need to pull up the op. He's like, I'm going to kill you with my pistol, And with that, Hero Raz, and it's going to be Johan left alive in this 2-on-4 situation. KUCF looking for an opportunity, finds him, but he actually misses the shot. So Johan does get the kill onto KUCF, but Benji moving in right now on Z connector is going to be Johan, going to start shooting through, gets another one as well, looking for the next. Benji just holding down this position once again, takes a few more shots. He's going to get a little bit disoriented from this. Once again, flashbang comes in, he's going to cover it, and the defuse is coming in, but he doesn't know exactly where he's going to get surrounded. Hellscream going in, but no, Johan with the 3rd third kill, the fourth kill as well. And now Benze, he needs to try and stop this defuse. Does he have time though? And this might be the round. Johan might turn it around here, but he's going to stop. He doesn't seem to have, he does have a kit, but it's not going to be enough time, and that is going to be half time, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be LowKey Esports. It looked really close, but in the end they were able to take a 5-point lead on the terrorist side, 10-5 right here. What a performance coming out from them in that latter half of the first half.
I think that was like probably like all rounds went in threes until that last round. I think all rounds were three consecutive rounds coming from LowKey. I think they were just forcing revolutionary gamers to like kind of force them into ecos, so they have to buy on the probably the third round or the fourth round, and they managed to overcome over that, where even after with a full buy, they just, because of the pressure so much on revolutionary gamers, they tend to make a little bit of more mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of pressure being put on the side of revolutionary gamers right now, and now they kind of have to deal with everything on the terrorist side, which is like a very difficult side obviously to execute, even though LowKey Esports made it look very easy. But we saw the struggle in the initial phases until they kind of got a idea of how revolutionary gamers were moving in the counter side, because they were very telegraphed in how they wanted to place their players. They weren't really mixing things up other than during the eco rounds, where they were just kind of running at LowKey Esports, which is usually not very good strat when the team has very good aim. So with that, now execution coming down to LowKey Esports. They have the advantage, they have the lead. They only need 6 more rounds to close this entire thing off and be the representatives for Sri Lanka, which is going to be obviously something that they have done multiple times, but facing off against some top tier teams from Bangladesh, India, Maldives, Nepal, as well as Pakistan. So we've seen them go up against them before, and it was very close, heated matches. So it's going to be interesting to see how much these teams have improved over the course of a few years, a few months since they last faced each other. And that is always going to give not just one team, but every single team will get so much exposure from just having an international representation for your team, because you can proudly go and say we represented our country for CS:GO, and that's not something that everyone can go and say.
Exactly. So I agree completely on what everything you said, and I think it's just the fact that it's such a privilege to do that in terms of esports, at least, because every other sports you're representing yourself, like it means you're coming from a country that's representing like millions and millions of people, but also you're that selected few who's representing that country in that specific thing. Like it's the same as every other sport. It's just that this is considered esports, and you're and being in 2020 in this new generation, everybody alive literally is playing some sort of game, regardless of it being PC, mobile, or console.
Yeah.
That everybody is playing games, and the fact that you are representing your country by playing some sort of a game, that means that you are so privileged and also very, very skilled. So I think that just goes to show the commitment and the time, that it's not just a waste of time or just a waste of effort and energy, definitely.
And the thing is, like, it's not even the fact that you're representing from a country that has so many numbers of CS:GO players, or for each title there is always going to be a set number or even more of people just taking part, and overall there might be even more numbers of players who are at a really good level. But to be the top dogs, to be the cream of the crop, that is something that takes a lot of special attention. So with that, once again, looks like revolutionary gamers with
nice one taps coming out from Hellscream there.
Yeah, so already get the bomb planted, so that is going to be some extra goal. And with that, now playing around E-Box is going to be hot news right now. But another beautiful headshot coming in from Hellscream. They're looking for this last player as well. Meanwhile, one of these players will be going for the defuse, and the defuse has already started. But once again, a very, very comfortably taken round coming out from the side of LowKey Esports. But revolutionary gamers will take comfort in the fact that they did manage to get the bomb planted down. So that is going to give them a chance to maybe even buy up some armor and a little bit of SMGs here if they do want to, or just save and go for the next round here.
I feel like has someone disconnected? Oh
yeah,
someone seems to have disconnected. But look at this one tap here, right?
Oh.
It's like you have so much of confidence on what you're doing, and also, if I'm not mistaken, all 5 of all those players died in a headshot, if I'm not mistaken. So all of those 5, and that just goes to show how much of experience these players has, and also the skill. So this, I'm not saying that Maximum RG is like a second tier team or anything like that. They've reached new heights by defeating and coming through all the way to the finals of this qualifier, by taking down big names, like especially like PNX heroes and all, who have been in that top tier level.
I mean, they've been facing off against LowKey for so long.
So like, for them to have the guts as well as the grinding to come all the way to the finals, I think that's very, very commendable. And also, you just see how LowKey is just seems to be somewhat on a different level in terms of at least CSGO, like from the local community. They seem to be on a very they seem to have a good understanding of how it should work on a career base. Like, you're looking at a career, you're looking at an organizational basis, you're playing for another team from a different organization. Like, it just goes to show, like, these are things that can moving forward, these are things that you expect from big teams, and this is one team that you are expecting, from, at least from my opinion, to go a long way, at least into the pro scene.
Yeah, I mean, given they have so many years of international exposure under their belt as well, so that has given them a lot of confidence. It has given them a separate experience that not many teams in Sri Lanka have gotten, and because of that, that's why they kind of stand head and shoulders above the rest of the teams here in Sri Lanka. But with that, it's going to be very exciting to see how things turn out. We might have to see a little bit of a 4 versus 5 action. We're still waiting for the last player from LowKey Esports to kind of reconnect. But so far, first map, very dominant performance coming out from the side of LowKey Esports. I believe they only gave 4 or 5 rounds away to Maximum Revolutionary Gamers in that Dust 2 map as well, and just cleaning them out quite conveniently and very easily once, and initially running in that counter side, getting that very early lead. It is a 7-point lead, and then we saw RG kind of make a little bit of a comeback, but then the very next buy round, LowKey kind of just picked up the pace and started taking things over, and we saw some amazing performances coming out from Hikka Friday, and especially KUCF as well. KUCF was amazing on his scout and his AWP, and he's been very good and consistent throughout in this game as well. I think everyone on the side of LowKey Esports has the potential to just 1 versus 5 clutch against a lot of these teams.
I think it's not a matter of how individually skilled they are. It's the fact that, okay, this team has been playing together for at least a few years, if I'm not mistaken. Probably they created this team around 2012, 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a long time. That's like 7 to 8 years
ago. So if I'm not mistaken, that was the year that, like, the players used to be rivals among themselves, but they didn't see the Sri Lankan community or the Sri Lankan esports of CSGO at least growing in terms of higher in a way that, okay, we could represent this in a way. So they came together, they created their own team. They weren't under a different name or a different organization or clan base. They had their own standalone team which came out as ZEG Esports. I think this was taken down in 2013, 2014. So after this, until now, they've been the top tier team, and I don't think they've lost one game from that point onwards. Probably never lost a series. Definitely never lost a series. Probably one team. I think one.
Maybe they've dropped like a few games.
Few games from PNX Heroes have been also right up there, making those comebacks. But they've, if I'm not mistaken, they have not lost a series at all for this completely almost, that's, if you're taking it from 2014, that's like 5-6 years ago. So
yeah, that's a lot of games to go through, and just keep that composure, keep your togetherness as a team, keep
and
the
also the
communication
consistency
down. Yeah, definitely. I mean, all these small things that you always want to keep in touch with. But with that, we do see the last player finally joining in from the side of LowKey Esports. So with that, we can obviously get back into more CSGO action. So great stuff to see more further on. Obviously, LowKey Esports with a 6-point lead right now. Their execution throughout this map has been really great. Their aim has been on point. As we saw in that previous pistol round, I think every single kill, like you mentioned, was a headshot, which is, you know, a sign of a very, very talented team, because usually when you're looking at headshots, that is what you want to go for. Very rarely do you want to aim for the body. You always want to go for the head, especially when you're running that AK-47.
I think even spray control, you know, like it's not how it used to be from 1.3, 1.3C. Like it's not every patch, even especially after CS:GO came on, like the spray controls have been different, very, very different from the way it used to be. I think people who have been playing this game for a long time adapted to it very well.
So, but with that, we do see some great execution coming out from Friday to get 2 kills there. They did lose health stream quite early, but with that, we do see Friday just cleaning things up, and once again, it's going to be Hikka just spamming through the train, trying to get that little bit of that, you know, the wall banks coming through, or just the, you know, shot penetration through the train. But with that, a beautiful shot coming up from once again KUCS, and Friday might go in for a little bit of a sneaky defuse here, but once again, Revolutionary Gamers managing to get the plant, which is a very, very important thing. They did pick up SMGs though, but with this plant, that means it secures that they'll be able to buy out in the next round. So you'll probably see AK-47s being purchased, and it'll be very interesting to see whether they want to run AWPs as a terrorist side, because usually most of the time in Train is such a map that most of the time you end up fighting very close quarters. Very few areas do you actually, you know, fight in that long range. Maybe if you're like covering from the
IV towards maybe from A side. I think those are the areas that's always mostly the AWPer seems to be at.
But with that, obviously, Maximum RG, they love the AWP. So Johan already picking it up this time, going for a few of these shots here, already getting tagged up quite a bit. Friday also taking a decent amount of damage. Just a little few trades here and there, but with that, looks like they have managed to make their entrance into the A side. Finds one beautiful shot coming out from Hikka to bring him down. So positioning playing a very huge part. And with that, it's only going to be a few more players left. Right now, everyone actually getting flashed up. So beautiful flash coming out from Benjay. And Hikka is going to move forward once again, taking another shot. But the trade is there. So moving in, and they already lost 3. So it's going to be Zigpa, Hop News, and another beautifully controlled shot coming in from Hellscream. Just crouching to stop a little bit of that control from that recoil. And with that,
you just see that last shot from Kov, like
KCF, right?
Like that's. He got it through the smoke. He did not know where he was, and he just spammed it with a scout.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, these players there's a thing called muscle memory in most games, and you know, he probably has the muscle memory of shooting here so many times that he's like, okay, this is head level, I'm gonna shoot here. If it hits, it hits, and then, you know, sorry, it was like from there, you know, Revolutionary Gamers not really working out. With that, now moving across, Friday going to get tagged up quite a bit, and Johan does get taken down, and with that, we do see Heroes just dropping down from Pop Dog once again and getting traded out, and a beautiful shot coming out from KUCF to bring down Matrix, and these rounds are barely taking a minute to finish. Like, it's just like a few seconds every single round, and this seems like, you know, Revolutionary Gamers, they bought out, but they're running an eco round.
Like, it doesn't seem to be there. I don't know whether it's just a matter of like, okay, we are playing against LowKey Esports, the best team in the country, so the nerves are getting towards us. I don't know, but they seems to be very flustered when it, at least knowing coming into this round, they did manage to take like 5 rounds early on, like, and they did play those rounds very well. It's just that I feel like once that momentum got into play, like it just went downhill. They just got too flustered to a point that they are out of recovery.
Yeah, so with that, looks like it's going to be a split A-take coming in. Hot News does get traded out. Beautiful shot coming from Hikka, just putting himself in a position to cover both these angles. And with that, Benjay going to get a little bit of support. And once again, Friday already starting the lurk. Beautiful shot onto Zippa. Headshots right there. So that's everything that you need. And with that, they've already lost 3 players. They've lost Luan, they've lost Hot News, and they've lost Zippa. And it's only going to be Hero. And Hero actually takes a decent amount of damage. And he's running a P90, excuse me. Matrix right now with the Galil. Trying to move in, but he's the only one left alive. They can't seem to locate him. No!
Oh, he actually gets the knife onto Roach. I think that's going to like be there for a long time.
Oh no!
Like, okay, he's going to be taunting Roach for a long time for that. he actually gets the knife on the probably the best player on LowKey Esports.
Oh my god, that is going to be...
That's some real disrespect coming out from Matrix there. But yeah,
I mean, he had the opportunity, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we've seen pros knife each other so many times, but that was... Oh no, it's already started. It's already started. So that is definitely going to be in the highlight reel.
And definitely, and like, okay, like the little trash talks and also the little things that
talks here. There. Oh my god. KUCF already getting into position once again. Here's the replay. Bye bye.
It's like you went behind him.
Oh god.
There are bad references I want to say, like backside okay, but it is like, oh no.
Yeah, we just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But anyway, with that,
like,
right
because
now,
it was on chat as well. We could see people calling it out, but
yeah, the thing is, most people won't get it. But anyway,
yeah. I'm actually hoping that is Roach dead. Oh, too bad. I really expect him. Oh, this is going to be the last round.
Yeah, this might be the last round. It's still a 2-on-2. It's very doable for the side of Revolutionary Gamers. Matrix with the AWP taking a shot. Johan gets taken down, but a beautiful off shot. Sees the next player, but the trade is there. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be LowKey Esports coming out on top. They are going to be your Sri Lankan representatives for the InGame Esports South Asia Cup here. So, happening in March against the rest of the teams that have qualified. So, congratulations to LowKey Esports. What an amazing performance coming out from them. What great execution. And in the end, just, being able to close things out very, very comfortably on their part.
Very well deserved as well. I think they've been very consistent throughout the year, very consistent throughout this qualifier as well. I think they deserve it very well for them to be the winners of this Sri Lankan qualifiers.
Yeah, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, just before we head off, a quick reminder on the teams that will be facing off against each other in the InGame Esports South Asia Cup in March. From India, we have Global Esports. From Pakistan, we have Gaming Hub. From Bangladesh, we have Nomad Esports. From Nepal, we have My Revenge. From Maldives, we have Team D-Hives. And from Sri Lanka, we have LowKey Esports. These are the teams that are going to be battling it out for that coveted prize here during that InGame Esports South Asia Cup in March. So thank you so much for joining us today, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we are going to call it a night. But anyway, we will be having more amazing CSGO action happening very, very shortly.